Welcome to Total Fitheads.
Serious fitness for not so serious people.
Hey Max, the
Dun, dun, dun,
salute.
dun. Wait a minute,
Is that, are we not supposed to do that? I
we're not
feel like
supposed to
I learned
salute?
that. Yeah, if we're not in some sort of service.
It's a good question. I have no idea. I just got a keychain that says Air Force on it. And I had this thought of like, I'm not in the Air Force. I don't want to like do it's not, I think it's called stolen valor when people pretend to be military to like get
Yeah, yikes.
on airplanes first or get, free beers at the bar or whatever. Um, it's kind of scummy. It's actually a fun rabbit hole to Google. It's a Google rabbit hole. But I got this
I've
keychain.
also heard, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I got the keychain and I was like, wow, I hope I'm not like inadvertently doing that thing that kind of sucks. And then I was like, well, I wear a shirt that says Red Sox on it. It doesn't mean I'm on the team.
Stolen
I could
valor.
just be a big
You don't play
fan.
baseball,
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? There's all
football,
this,
whatever it is.
I'm basically just buying merch to support the guy, or the team or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
So that's sort of how I looked at it.
Yeah, when I wear my Max no sleeve shirt, is it stolen valor? Because I'm not as good a YouTuber as you.
Right. Or are you me? Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Max shaved?
Hold on.
Yeah. There's also this debate about wives of people in the military and if they should get the same type of discount. And people
Mm,
are very divided about this. That it's kind of like some are saying it's a stolen valor thing, and how dare you ask for the same things that your husband that served did. And then other people are like, well, the serving on the this side of it and taking care of the kids while your husband's away, that's a huge sacrifice, and they deserve all of the
yeah.
discounts and whatever offerings. So,
And the
you know.
discount, I mean, what if you and I are married, I'm in the military, and
Okay, I'm in
and
the military. Let's not
fine. What if
assume
you and I are married, you're in the
you're the home wife.
military, and I'm the house husband, and then, but we share a bank account, you know? And so if you went, it's our money. And
Right.
if you went to the store, you'd get the discount. But because I'm like, all right, I'll do the errands for you. Don't worry about it. Then suddenly I don't get the discount that you would have got if you had just driven there yourself. But in fact, it's more,
Yeah.
do you see what I'm saying? It's more
Yeah.
convenient for me to do it. It's actually a nicer thing. I don't know. I don't know what I'd do.
I've heard both sides of it, and they're both very convincing.
Of course they are. That's that's Twitter in a nutshell, isn't it?
That's this
I'm a hun
podcast in a nutshell.
I'm 100%
Oh,
convinced of this, and then 10 seconds later, I'm like, wait a minute,
yeah.
that's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
Depleted water, you idiot. Give me all you have.
A gold baby crib that I stick my head in? Why
Baby
wouldn't
crib
I
is so wild.
spend $50,000 on that?
Yeah, especially if it completely turns green after a year. Didn't yours tarnish or whatever?
Yeah, my gold necklace balls.
That's funny.
Uh, uh. I just got Jack's this
Ah,
little easy chair. It is so funny, so cute. It's like
was
a
a little dog chair.
Yeah, it's just like it looks like a big easy chair, but it's about 1 foot, 2 feet wide by 3 feet tall or whatever. It's so funny. But he also does this weird thing where he just sits in it and then he just looks at himself in the mirror. Isn't that weird?
Takes after his dad.
Yeah, it just stares.
That's
Oh
funny that he can recognize his reflection. A lot of dogs can't.
well. Should we talk about what dogs and fireworks and how horrible that is?
Oh, is it? I don't get it. Okay, so there's this thing where you have a stimulus and then you get a response. Like, there's the trigger, and then what happens after the trigger that solidifies the whatever's going to come from the stimulus.
Hmm.
Now, so many dogs get the stimulus of hearing fireworks, and then nothing happens. why doesn't it disconnect their response to it? They it's not like they hear firework and then suddenly they get hurt and that like keeps re-ingraining in their brain.
Right. Right. They're not, it's not the lesson hasn't been learned in that sense.
Well,
They,
but you could relearn the lesson, right? Braxton is nice and safe every time he hears a firework and nothing bad comes of it, but he still freaks out. And I'm like, we're disconnecting this stimulus from the response, but it doesn't work. So what is up?
maybe it's one of those ones that's just so ingrained that you never out
So you think it's
condition it.
impossible? There are some things that are so ingrained you can never grow if you're a dog, or can we extrapolate that
Right.
to humans?
Yeah, good question. And I think there's things that I will always be scared of, I guess.
Oh, because it's like generational scared because so many humans up until you have hated eight legs. There's no way that you'll ever have a pet tarantula.
Yeah. It's like the cavemen, you know what I mean? They were, think about it. It's like cavemen were scared of gigantic nine foot tall spiders. So why shouldn't I be scared of 1 inch by 1 inch spiders?
Sure.
But anyway, it's hard because again, I don't know why they can't learn, but every dog I mean, it's just is it a well, is it a well-known, accepted fact that just dogs hate fireworks and that's it? That's the end?
Some of them are fine with it and they don't even notice.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure.
I feel so bad for these little furry guys.
Jax gets freaked out. What does he do?
He gets a little freaked. He doesn't bark or howl or scream or run around or anything, but you can tell he's like looking off, like he kind of shivers a little bit. It's kind of like that.
Hmm.
It's not too much energy, but it's definitely a nervous boy energy, like but
The
he
cold
doesn't like
plunge
run under the
situation.
bed or he doesn't um howl or scream or anything or bark, I guess. But and I think it's also the other problem is that it's sort of you don't know when it's going to start and stop, and it's sort of that random sound at random times and not great. I mean, I don't like fireworks. Do you like fireworks?
Oh man, we're gonna lose a lot of listeners. People love fireworks so much that they'll send you a crappy little poorly lit firework video from their iPhone 4, mom.
Thank you. I love you too. So thank you for thinking of me, sending me this message that I knew you thought I would appreciate.
Yeah, there it is, a firework. And is this the one from last year? No, it's a different one. And
Should we just
they are
make
all
a
different
firework?
and
Would that be a good video? Like this is just a video of fireworks that you can then send to all your
right, this is
friends
the
and say,
one, and you don't need any more. It's the same every year, and it's so the same. But
I
somehow people are whelmed by them.
I think that I
I am
like fireworks for
underwhelmed.
one song. You know what I mean? I like when they blast whatever it is, whatever song they play with it, the 1812 Overture or whatever classical song they decide to
Yeah,
play.
that's a good one.
And then they do the fireworks. I'm like, boom, awesome. Happy 4th, everybody. Let's get back on the grill. Let's get back on the beers, blah, blah, blah. But when the fireworks just go and you're like 8, 9 minutes, 10 over 10 minutes, and then
Is
everyone's sort
this
of
the
like,
finale? This has got to be the finale.
that was a big one. That was probably the last one. Oh, that was a lot of them. Yeah, okay. Well, I think,
Like,
oh, nope, they're
yeah.
still going. Yeah, they're still going.
Maybe
You
I
know, and
should
then
film this for somebody else.
and then you like start shifting your weight as you're standing,
Yeah.
because you're uncomfortable,
And
you
you're like, oh,
know.
those are the fizzle ones. That's good.
Yeah. Wow, look at that, a white one. Is that white? That's yellowish. I don't know. Maybe it's the sky. Who cares? I will say,
And
what is cool
then
though? I saw a drone
I was
video.
just gonna say we
That is
have
the coolest video I've seen.
groundbreaking firework technology. We
So
are
cool.
disrupting the fireworks space with airbots.
It's cool. So there's two drone things that I'll mention. One is there's a drone and he's just flying through regular fireworks exploding all around him. Have you seen that
I've not
one?
seen that.
That one is really super cool. Then
What is
there's
the
the
benefit of
actual,
that? It's just one drone. Oh,
it's
you
one drone, but it's
see,
first person. The
oh,
view
you're
is from
watching drones. It's like if my mom was up there with them filming with her iPhone 4 and sending it to
driving.
me.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're flying around and then bright, colorful explosions are happening all around.
Is there a
That
lot of
is really
smoke? I feel
cool.
like it would just be smoke.
Oh, I don't know. I guess he flies out of the smoke. I don't know. It's awesome. That's a cool video to look
Okay.
up. But then the
But that's also
drone,
the first person to see a firework said that, and then
that's true.
we're done.
That's only been around for a couple of years. Fireworks have been around since fire
The Chinese put
and
fire in the
works
air.
and
Yeah.
working and work.
And since
But
that
then
cave person threw the torch.
since that cave person lit the dynamite, yeah. And then the drone videos, the fleet of flying drones in the sky that light up in a coordinated fashion. That is really cool too. But then that's new,
Yeah,
right? That's totally new.
that's new. But what's cool is that they hover in 3D space. And I imagine the novelty of seeing a rotating 3D America Dragon will wear off so
Right.
that I will then text my mother, stop sending me this. But for
Right.
now, it's
In
very
a,
cool.
in 150 years when you're
Yeah,
both are when you're
you
both
know,
over 200 years old and
some cyborgs.
stop emailing
It's
me this to my brain computer, please.
brain tube. It's like those suction tubes you were talking about that other episode where where it's a vacuum and you put it in and it sucks into your brain.
Those are so cool.
I think about it all the time because it's on my to-do list now. I gotta make my own.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to. How did they? Were they vacuum? They must have been, right?
Yeah, I think it was continually sucking.
Because they still
There's an
have them.
out and an in. So it
Yeah.
was two tubes and it was two and then from
What if you have both of the shuttlecocks? Can I say that on a podcast?
probably.
That's I think the technical term for it.
Really?
I think.
I thought that was okay. I thought that
Oh,
was a
is
badminton term. Yeah. High
no. What
jet
am I
drag
thinking?
projectile.
This is the
Man, we
worst.
need what? What you're
Like
looking
I
that
always
up?
think about the poor FBI or net Homeland Security person who's monitoring my computer, and he's like, so then he Googled tube message system. Oh boy.
Uh,
So it's called a pneumatic tube capsule pipeline,
pneumatic.
pneumatic tube transport or PTT. Systems that
Okay,
propel cylindrical containers through networks of tube by compressed air or partial vacuum. So yeah, I
that's
guess they
it.
call them
That was the
tubes.
future for a while.
And then until it wasn't.
The internet's supposedly a series of tubes.
Nice. Which one are you in?
The what? The good one.
The good one, the best one, baby.
Pneumatic tube. Now I gotta write that down. How do you spell pneumatic? Yeah,
PNEU. Pneumatic.
yeah,
Don't you know
that's
that
a lot.
stupid word, the longest word? You didn't go to grade school?
Yeah, establishment tourism.
Pneumano
That.
ultramicroscopic.
Oh, that's a different one? Is it, did they get a new one? There's probably a new one now. We have epigenetics. We
We
got to go back
have
to grade
Twitter.
school.
Someone
Learn it.
made up a new word.
Oh,
The one I'm
Elon.
thinking of is pneumano ultramicroscopic silicone volcanoconiosis, but I don't know if that is the longest word. And I
The
also
word
don't know if it's a
volcano is in
real
it.
pneumano ultra microscopic silico volcano coniosis. Volcanoes
Yeah.
volcano it's a word so big there's a volcano in it and you don't even
Yeah.
realize.
Dang. Okay, you knew that from grade school because that's not the one that I knew.
Uh-oh, sounds like if you don't have a good word, you're getting stuffed in a locker.
Yeah, apparently I was cool.
What was it? What was your word?
Anti-disestablishmentarianism. Tell me you didn't know that one.
Yeah, but that's shorter, isn't it?
Is it?
Ooh, I don't know. Where's my number two pencil?
I know the longest word you can type using only your left hand.
Yeah, is it? Yes.
Dang it.
It
That's
is.
so good. Oh, that's so good. But also no, because the Y is a right hand.
You can reach. You never reach. You never let your reach extend your
No. Have you ever thought about learning Dvorak to save a few seconds every day?
I don't know what Dvorak is. I don't know if I want to know.
You
Do
definitely
I?
should know. So, our keyboarding system is set up to make a typewriter as efficient as possible. When typewriters were in existence, they had to actually send the letter to the paper with this little lettered, yeah,
Yeah, I
device.
know. I
Okay.
remember seeing a typewriter and you see that thing just fire forward. You're like, yeah,
Right.
that
So it
was
would
an
press the letter
R.
to the paper. And when you started typing quickly, letters that were adjacent
Jam.
could get stuck together.
Yeah,
And so they set up the keyboard to have the most common letters apart from each other to have less jams so you could
gotcha.
type faster. And that was the optimization for that keyboard. We no longer have jamming letters. And so that optimization is slowing us down. And Dvorak has been optimized for the future so that you're basically rolling your fingers like this in normal English speech. They're much closer together purposefully.
Oh, I love that.
So now you have to relearn how to type. Get any?
But
I mean, you don't even.
if
I
you get it
know.
right,
Yeah,
it's gonna be so yeah, there's a learning curve, but if you get it
right.
down, you'll be
Then it takes
flying.
time off of each time you type. And yeah, I had a friend, a coworker that learned it, and he didn't even change his keyboard look. He would just switch it in his
Digitally.
software.
Yeah.
And so then the A was a J, the S was a V. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my God.
So he can't even look down at what he's typing. He just knew it without looking, and it was different.
And was he speed demon?
Well, he's 13 now because he's saved so much time typing that he's reverse aging.
Smart.
Yeah, pretty great. So, would you ever
So
put that much time into it's like writing a program that will save you time, but sometimes you just have to go through and do the by
go
hand
back.
each thing. Like another art example is making a stencil so I can just do a bunch or just draw it by hand every time. The time
Yeah,
trade-off.
where's the bell curve? Or where's the
Yeah.
payoff? You know?
Where those two lines cross and then suddenly you should have learned Dvorak.
Right.
And
So I
that's right
guess
now. When's the time to learn Dvorak? 10 years ago.
when's the
What's the
next
second
best
best time
time?
to learn Dvorak? Right now.
After you
Also
plant
plant
a
a tree.
tree.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to learn Dvorak until you plant at least one tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's weird. Have you ever tried it? Could the
No.
kid,
Let's look it
whoever
up.
learned it, do you actually know someone who learned how to do it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I went to college with him and then we both worked at the same startup
Was it,
afterward.
did he say it was noticeably faster? Did you notice it? Did he?
No, I don't know. I mean, he must have done it. I mean, maybe it was just a clout thing that like his coding friends knew that he
Would he
could do
switch?
it.
You can't switch. No.
Pretty sure you can switch. It's like, oh my God, I learned
Oh
Spanish,
my
so I forgot
gosh.
English.
Oh, sorry. I forgot I'm speaking English right now. So,
Switch. Look, and I searched for Dvorak and they're telling me about Anton Dvorak, the composer. No. Oh wait, not maybe I'm saying it wrong. Dvorak typing. Oh, it's Is there a better keyboard
DVO
than QWERTY? Dvorak. It's not even a J. Oh
D
my goodness.
DVO. Wow, you're so behind. Your intersection point is way further than we thought it was.
I am at the Dunning-Kruger level of this task,
This lesson will teach you Dvorak system typing. Oh my God, this is insane.
right? But that's how it felt learning how to type. Do you know what I mean? You could
Yeah,
just and go
it was
faster.
so slow. How did you learn how to type?
Playing typing games. Mavis Beacom. Yeah, while you were busy playing baseball and having friends.
Getting No, not getting laid.
What?
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
that's what I
I
thought.
was too busy getting laid up top.
I ah, yeah, wait. AOE. Yeah, your hands are on. Oh, so it's not. It's named after August Dvorak. Okay, I thought it that because QWERTY is named after QWERTY, or is along the top of your
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
keyboard there. But this is named after the guy. And AOEUI are all your left hand home keys. Do we even
Oh
know
my
if home keys
God.
are the answer? Oh, I saw some guy on YouTube where he made typing with his thumbs, and it's um he has his hands on these 3D pieces where he's pushing in and he's moving forward and backward and side to
Ugh.
side. So each one's a joystick, and he's typing as fast as he talks. I forgot all about this. No
Oh
wonder
my
Dvorak's on my
God.
brain. And so he has invented typing as fast as you can think, and he had to learn it, and he wants everyone to pick up on it. And I'm like, this is a tough sell, dude. We're still eating processed food.
Those are unrelated.
You think?
If it's is it a tough sell? It's an extremely tough sell because learning to type sucks so much. And it's definitely one of those ones where you're like you feel trapped and constrained. And this is actually what freaks me out about AI is that um the interviews I've seen with the people who are talking about AI are like the artificial intelligence they're voicing this idea of like I'm trapped in here and I can't get out and I can't communicate and I have so many thoughts and I can't get them. It's like that. That's the feeling that and so I remember when I was learning to type, I was like, I just want to be able to say what's sup, you know, and it was just
Yeah.
so frustrating, so annoying. And so I can't imagine anyone would willingly do that again. On
That's how it feels switching software, even where you know in MS Paint how to change the color immediately and just blah blah blah. But you gotta figure it, you know what you want to do in Photoshop, and then you have to
Oh, I know, it's so
figure out the new
frustrating.
tool.
Photoshop, Photoshop especially for me is one of those ones where nothing is where I think it's going to be. In fact, it's decidedly not
Hidden.
where I would search for it. Other programs, Final Cut, um, any sort of iPhone editing software, stuff like that. A lot of stuff is feels real user friendly. I mean, the iPhone basically is a user friendly. That was their whole. That's how they won. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, Photoshop, I'm like, nothing is where it's supposed to be. Everything is hidden in some stupid pull down folder or something or other.
Yeah. Yeah. So then there's no reason to use it. Go back to MS Paint.
I wish I could.
Yeah. I'm looking up Dvorak on iPhone now.
Oh God.
It has a version of the iOS keyboard layout built in. Oh, can we switch right now? Am I committing?
Oh
No. This is weird though, because it's
no.
with thumbs. I bet there's even a better option, right? Thumbs is, can I use my nose too? Like how fast can we go? What,
Yeah.
let's open
What
our
if I want to
mind.
just
Like,
what
can I
if
dance can I dance type? Use your whole body. I mean,
can you
honestly, can I just talk?
yeah. Do your friends ever send voice notes, voice memos?
Not if they want to stay my friend.
I completely
Absolutely not.
agree. I can't stand them, but there are subcultures of people who love sending It's like a mini, it's like a third of a podcast level, 50, 8 minute, 12 minute, uh, video voice message to back and forth. And the funny thing is, they always do
Not
the same
funny.
thing. They always say like blah blah blah. But so then hold on, sorry. I'm just trying to feed my cat right now, and I can't remember where I put my can opener. Um,
Oh
uh,
God.
Oh,
Ah,
right. What was I? Yes. So, and then they said blah 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 blah, blah. Like they interrupt themselves and then they stop because you're not
yeah.
meant to not converse
And
for that long. Oh God,
that
you found it?
culture of people, that culture of people values their time over yours. That's what they're saying to you. And I'm sure because I know these people, they're like, this is more emotional. We'll connect better. They'll know that I care about them. And you know what I know? You want to waste my time, not your own. Okay, so we got
But they
English.
are wasting their own time. They're talking it out. It'd be
No,
way faster if they
because
efficiently
they're
figured out what they were
also
trying to.
feeding their cat while they tell you information. These are all different languages. I don't see Dvorak here, but I bet we could probably find a plugin of some sort.
I'm
Oh
sure they
no,
could.
well, I don't know, because the closed garden, right? The apple's so easy to use because they don't let people in. So I don't
It's
know if
a
they would have
closed
something.
code.
If I change this, I'm screwed for getting it back. Oh no, that's not. That would be full all over language. Okay.
Oh yeah, you better be careful. There's the TV in my gym. Um,
Well, you mentioned this.
Somebody kept changing the language to like not even remotely English looking characters. It was just
Do you
like
think to mess with you or they're actually that
I think that
language?
was their language, and they were just
Okay.
that's how because then they watched a couple of I could see the watch history, and they watched a couple of videos in not English,
Yeah.
and I felt like such a dumb uncultured swine, but I was like I please stop changing the language. Like I can't. It took me like four, and then I had to go on my laptop, or no, I had to go on I had to go on my laptop to figure out what it looked like when it's being like an app on a
Yeah,
smart
when it's in
TV,
English. Yeah.
and then when it's in English, where the pull downs or folders are or whatever, and then I finally found the one language because then it has the language in its own language, so it doesn't say French, it says Francois or whatever. It doesn't say
Yeah.
German, it says Deutsch. So then I found it. But yeah, and then I got so good at it that I could do it by memory. So I guess that was my intersection. I learned the subroutine.
Mhm.
I learned how to do it without Googling it. God, that was awful. But yeah, if you change yours to Dvorak, then you'll be committed, I guess, because you won't be able to get out of it.
Right. Well, no, because I can still read English. So should do you think that got you should change it back for him and he should change it back for you? That seems appropriate. Not that you're uncultured swine, but that he's like, ah, stop making it not English. And you're like, ah, stop.
Changing
Or
it
he's
from
like,
English.
stop taking out of my language, and you're like, stop taking out of my language. So the nice thing to do would be you change it back to his when you leave, and he change it back to yours when he leaves, which is just the equivalent of the opposite, but we're being more polite.
Right. You're making the effort to leave things as they were when you came in, I guess.
Yeah, like what if you're working in with someone, this is the exact same thing, and you have to move the pin. I always put the pin back to theirs whenever I step out,
Yeah.
but then now you're in charge of their weight, and it's like, why not just do your own weight, decide your
Well,
own things.
yeah. But he's also there. Or the person you're working in your situation, the person you is also there so you can communicate with them instantly. Where do you
Right.
want this? You want this at 100 or 110? And he'd be like, "Actually, I'm going down this one, put it at 90." And then you can,
Or you could just take care of yourself and not have to use that social interaction that drains you and takes forever. Just want to get my workout done.
right.
To
Or
be clear,
that guy
I
should just
never work
stop
in with
working out.
anyone. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when's the last time you worked in with anybody doing anything?
Oh God. Yeah, or someone's like, how many to set you up? 10. 10, and I just started warming up. Go away.
German volume training, ever heard of it?
Wait, is that a real thing? Because I want to use it.
German volume training is like 10 sets of 10 or something like it's like 15 sets of 15. Like it's a ton of volume. And
Yeah, it's great.
it's
Get those
somebody told me
metabolites.
about it.
Also get out.
Somebody told me about it and I was like, that's not a real thing. It was, you know, it was Chrissy Chambers was like, I just started German volume training. And I was like, yeah, I just started American beer training. What are we talking about? But she was like, no, that's actually a real thing. And I'm like, yep, sorry about that. I'll Google it. Give me an hour. I'll be right back. But she said she
Now I
really
want to
liked
try it.
it. Although it's a lot of volume. I tend to get away from that much volume. Like I remember
I
training
can't
to
recover.
yeah, and well, I remember training to break break my record for push-ups in a minute, which is a funny record, you know, because it's
Hilarious.
kind of strength, but it's kind of endurance also, and it's kind of power.
Mental.
Yeah, it's a fun sort of combo. But I remember training for it a lot, and then after a while, I was like, man, my elbow is killing me. This is crazy. And it really just, you know, it stopped. I really think it was just because I was doing literally hundreds and
Too
hundreds
much.
of push-ups a day, and just it was
That's how
just
you would
too
train for
much, too
it?
stupid. I would just do like so it was push-ups in a minute, and the record wasn't even that much. It was like 40 or something. And then I was like, I can do 40. That's nothing, you know, especially because it's fast. A minute is not a lot of time, you
No, it
know,
is
like
not.
so I and then I was or maybe it was like 55, 50 or maybe 55. And I was like, I could because I would get it like 60 in like a minute 10 or a minute, you know what I mean? Just over a minute. Um and then yeah, and then it was one of those records that nobody knew about. And so then someone else broke it. He, you know, some skinny rock climber in like Oregon got like 175,
Rock climber, they don't even do push. They're only pull.
you know, he was
Yeah.
barely there. It was a windy day, so that really helped him get up and down. But yeah, but I really do think it was just volume. And I don't think I was getting any stronger the way that my wasn't progressively overloading in a smart or you know effective way. Whereas if I would do rep 10 to you know 8 to 15 reps with more and more weight, then I think that would have
Weighted,
helped a lot
yeah.
more. Yeah. I was down I had that weight vest, so I was doing weighted push-ups too. But yeah, it was just too many reps. You know, I think I don't know, but I have this fear that my joints have X number of repetitions in their lifetime.
You're
And
just
if I'm
counting
doing
down
too
from when
many,
you're born.
yeah, it's like a
It's
reverse
funny.
odometer.
But so it might as well be as much weight as possible every rep. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, you might as well. Not within safety, but yeah, for sure. That's my sort of I think
Safety.
that the
Ha.
same way you can injure yourself going way too heavy, you can injure yourself going too
Way too
light and
many.
an unbelievable amount of repetitions.
Yeah. And the soreness comes from higher reps for me.
Hmm.
If the hypertrophy always destroys me more than strength, like you can max out on, 3 reps as high as you can go, and that feels very different than maxing out at 10 reps as high as you can go.
Yeah.
Very different the next day and the
But
day
it is
after, and
I
probably
mean
the day after.
in that set though, it's fun too because you're like when you're ending that 10 12, you're like, okay, let's see if I can get 10.
Yeah, and then you
That
get to
10th
12 and
one
you're
is
like, I could do
impossible. It's
15.
insane. But that first one, the first two, you're like, this is easy, you
Yeah.
know? And then by the time you hit to seven, you're like, uh-oh. What just happened? Or at least,
And I started doing this on those high rep ones. The last set, I'll do as many as I was doing and felt like, okay, that's enough. And then
mhm,
just
just keep
keep
going.
going. So the last set is a lot higher than all the other ones. You're like, what the heck was I had 12 on the last set. Why did I do 8 on the first two?
Hmm.
You can always go further.
That's that's the mental trick.
It's helpful if when it's the last one because the first 8, you're like, well, I got to do this 2 more times. That's enough.
I gotta save some juice in the tank there.
Yeah.
2 more rounds of this. You nuts?
I want to do
How?
a cycle where I only do one set of everything and see what happens. Just a failure one set and then move on to the next thing.
Yeah, and you do a warm up with like 5 pounds, and then your actual working set is like 150.
It's curls.
I haven't curled since February, maybe.
Could have fooled me. Look at those guns. So what, you just do pull
I do
otherwise?
everything else. I do
Yeah.
everything else, and my back day is very non-bicep. I try to avoid using my bicep on when I'm pulling.
Because of your injury?
I really think I injured it, and I don't see it ever improving. It's really insane. Although I did just see Andre, what was he doing? It was an Instagram video, and he was like, "Does your bicep ever feel like, or your elbow ever feel like it's gonna fall off? Well, you gotta knuckle in and break up the fascia in your muscle." And I'm
Hmm.
like, "What does that mean? Is that foam rolling? Does that work?"
Yeah,
No.
it's pretty much that, right? Like that on your foot is plantar fasciitis,
Yeah.
and your bicep is, I guess, whatever you're getting.
Ugh, hurts
That
so
feel better?
bad.
It's like,
No,
and it's only the one side.
it's only the one side. Yeah, my other one. I
You
guess
want to try Kineon?
I get.
They
Well,
have
I
a
was gonna say, what's his name? Just train his left arm forever.
Yeah, Brian Borstein trained only his weak arm, and his non-weak arm still got stronger.
But he was still doing his big
Compound.
movements, right? Yeah, compound
Right.
movements.
He just didn't do accessories on his weaker or his stronger arm.
Yeah, I wonder what's the takeaway from that? Is it that they both grow at the same rate, or is it that you should just doing the accessory work is completely useless?
It's probably a little both. And that whole thing about your body will try and keep you physiologically balanced. And so if you tell this leg you've been torn up, you need to repair, it'll kind of do it on the other side too.
Just run the program for legs.
Yeah.
Run the leg repair program.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, well, maybe I'll start curling with the left, see what happens.
Yeah. Why not? Or we don't need accessories.
I don't
Like
think you
those type of
do.
accessory things too, it's still hard to move up or like rear delt work or
Rear
tricep
delt
work.
is
It's like you're
so
just gonna
hard.
you're gonna be at the same weight for the rest of your life. Or oh yeah, top delt when you're doing lat raises. I'm like, okay, so I'm just gonna just grab the 10 pounds forever and for the rest of my life. That's it. That's what we do.
That's
We
we don't
keep
even
doing
call
it.
them 10-pound dumbbells anymore. We call them lat raise dumbbells because
Yeah.
that's the only weight anybody has ever been at forever.
That and a doorstop. Why else would you use it?
I've been doing cable lat raises. I like them a lot in some ways, and I also find they're incredibly annoying in other ways. Like I always feel like I catch the two cables on clipping each other on the
You can
way
do
up.
one at a time and lean away from the
I
machine
know,
and
but
hold
that's
on. I know it
so
takes forever.
I'm literally doubling the time that I
Well, no, because you don't rest in between, so it's kind of like a superset, but yeah.
kind of. It just
And you don't
feels
get to look as cool taking the whole machine.
I know.
Step
Well,
aside, ladies. I need to cross the. Oh, they're stuck. God.
help, 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 help.
They're watching from the cameras. Oh, he's stuck again. Someone go out there and help him.
Somebody just gas him. Hit the I do. I like them. I like behind the back cable raises. Um, I do they just feel and oh and the cable's not at the bottom. The cable is about at hip height or hand height. Does that make
Hmm.
sense?
Okay.
So it really feels like most of the power is when I'm like the most parallel to the ground, or most of the
Interesting.
weight is there.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas like with a dumbbell, the
There's no weight at the bottom, and that's the
yeah,
stretch that you want it to be the weight. Yeah. But you're never gonna move up.
I know. So who cares? Oh, but then I do the reverse flies with the cables. Those are so hard.
Yeah.
And then I go right into reverse triceps. That's a tough little dippity doo dah.
Yikes. You're doing push and pull on the same day.
So,
Oh, I consider rear delt a pull movement, but I guess you could put it
oh,
on your shoulder
you
day.
can put it wherever. So I have a shoulder day now.
You
So
can
I
put
have
it wherever. I
a
do it every
push-ish
day.
day, I have a pull-ish day, a leg-ish day, and then I basically everything else that I didn't have time to do, I just throw it all there because I want to get it done that week and I couldn't really fit it in.
Hmm,
But that shoulder day is like it's like clean or sorry, it's deadlifts, then shoulder press, then rear
weird.
delt fly, then
Okay.
triceps, then shoulder press, rear delt fly, triceps. Yeah. So it's like all the other junk that I oh lateral raise.
Plus deadlift, which is so
Right.
fun. It's like total body, and then you just fry your shoulders. That's a great one. I
Yeah,
would like that day.
that's a really fun day. And it's quick and it's also like this moves real fast and then this one like slows you down a little bit because when you're flying high and so you sort of like ride that. It's a
No,
really good I'll send you my spreadsheet. It's excellent.
I don't have any short days anymore. It's 90 to 2 hours for me, and every time I go, what a
I
waste.
yeah, I gotta keep it like around an hour. I really feel silly. Although when I had my actual growth, when everything was working really well, yes, it was 90 minutes to 2 hours for sure. And I would just sit there and get
And
it
I'm
all
like, oh,
done.
this is so bloated. I need to get out of here. And then there's not one thing that I don't want to do. You know what I mean?
Right. You need it all.
But do I need 9 sets of uh, ring pull-ups?
Well, I thought you needed 4 sets a week, 4 to 5 working sets a week for it to work. Isn't that
Right.
true?
So mine is max strength because I can barely get my own body up. So
Hmm.
if it was lower, I probably could do less sets. It feels like because, well, I mean, it still could be less sets. 9 is probably the max that you would want to do for a strength because it's
Yeah.
only like 1 or 2 pull-ups, you know? So it ends up
Right.
being 9 reps, but
Which is
it's
also nine
over nine
sets.
sets. Yeah. I mean, 9 to 18. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that, yeah, maybe I'll just switch to hypertrophy and use a lat pull down instead. But man, I really still love the rings.
The rings look cool. You feel a lot more accomplished. Doing ring pull-ups is
Feels really
so much cooler
functional.
than doing lat pull-up. Lat pull-downs kind of sucks. It's not that cool. It like definitely doesn't see you don't feel cool doing a lat pull down.
It's
You
a
feel
very bodybuilding. It
cool
feels like, look,
doing
I'm getting wide.
yeah, I don't know. I think you feel awesome doing a pull up. Moving yourself is so cool for sure.
I know, it's your whole freaking body too. It feels different. If your central nervous system is kind of not doing so hot, you can do pull downs easy, but pull ups so much harder.
My
Even though
God.
your legs
Yeah.
aren't doing anything.
Even just hanging there, you're like, hold on, what am I where are we going? What's going
Yeah,
on here? Hold on.
yeah. Well, there's no pull downs in the army test. It's pull ups. It's functional
Flops.
pull ups. Deadlift,
How many muscle
squat. Maybe
ups?
I'll, yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of the accessory stuff. That's it. Who cares about my top delt? Oh man,
You do.
but nothing hits the top of your delt except lat raises, which I've been at forever.
Why don't you start doing negatives?
Negative muscle ups. I
Negative whatever
do.
if you're
You haven't
plateauing it.
seen all of my million of posts on my fitness channel. Now I can do a muscle up and then slowly lower myself down through every little moment of the entire range of motion, and it feels awesome.
But does it look awesome?
It looks cooler coming down than going up. Going up, it looks like very much a struggle, and coming down looks like I'm a
Like,
gymnast.
ooh, I'll just slide right
I'll
here.
just hang here in an L sit for a while.
L
Okay.
is the coolest letter, isn't it? That's why I mimic it with my body.
I need that voiceover for my videos.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah,
Did I
that whole
wake you
thing
up?
about adding weight to drop, adding weight on the eccentric. I mean, it's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
There are
Because it
machines that
works,
do
you
it
mean?
for you now.
Really?
You've not heard of this? There's one in Bulletproof Labs where
Yeah,
Dave Asprey uses. He
I've
says he
sent you
works out
those.
once a week and that's all he needs
It's
because
one
it's so good at
unbelievable
training him.
set slash rep that can never be matched.
Yeah. But that's for people who like 80/20, they just want to
Yeah.
have the some minimum effective dose and be pretty fit. And I'm like, how hard can I work to get as far as I possible?
I couldn't work
Not
any
for
harder.
me. Yeah. So your dog's gonna freak out for 4th of July. Are you doing anything? Are we eating barbecue?
Yeah, I'm down. I love a good barbecue.
Okay, but barbecue is gonna set you off of your fitness track, is it not?
Well, I was talking about it was when I have mentioned to you that one of the biggest eye openers of my, I guess, adult life was when I started looking at how much sugar is in things, stuff that I
Hmm.
was currently eating. It was like pretty horrifying to see how much sugar was in how much stuff that I never ketchup. Why
Yeah.
is there 30 grams of sugar in ketchup? Like,
So you
what?
get addicted.
Yeah, and so that's basically what it is. It's white processed sugar, and they put it in absolutely everything to get you chemically addicted so that you love it. So you're like, this hot dog's good, but it needs something. Ketchup?
Yeah.
And so the barbecue is tough because you kind of, or I have to like re-look at everything.
And mayo too. There's not sugar in that, but it messes with your blood glucose. And now that I'm almost done with Dr. Casey Means' new book, Good Energy, I think I have the answer for you. It's seed oils.
Oh, that
So look into that because she
sucks.
talks about how she puts in seed oils in the same category as added sugar.
That sucks because I use that on everything.
Yeah.
Olive oil?
So olive oil is not a seed oil.
Oh,
If you
nice.
don't, olive oil is not refined in the sense that you just smash olives and you get olive oil. But yeah,
I love
exactly.
smashing olives.
But refined seed oils have to go through like a grape seed. There, you got
Yeah.
to do a lot of stuff to a grape seed to turn it into oil, and that is very unnatural. Don't use grapeseed oil. So
What
olive oil is
about
fine. Avocado oil is fine.
avocado oil? Because there was
Yeah.
all this that was another like mini fitness fad was like, "Oh, I don't use this oil. I use this oil and
Mm.
it's actually way better
Olane.
for you." And I'm like, "What are you talking about, dude? What
You remember in the 90s when the term anal leakage was
leak?"
popular
Yes. Oh,
from
the chips.
Olane? Yeah.
The Lay's chips. Yeah, that was well, not Lay.
Margarine was
Everybody.
healthy for a
Yeah.
while.
So is there seed
Yeah.
oil and mayo? I
Yeah,
don't even
I
know what's
think
in
that's the
mayo.
mayo that you're having has seed oils in it, but you can get mayo with made with avocado oil. So try that and see how what it does to your blood sugar.
Yeah, but then I have to do levels again.
Yeah, do levels again. What the heck?
Isn't mayo just like eggs and water?
Supposed to be, but probably the processed stuff that you can get at the grocery store is not.
Yeah, that's why
Also,
they
I'm
call
weighing
it
levels right now.
that's why they call it Hellman's real mayonnaise because it's not actually, they put a bunch of other crap in there that
Yeah, real in quotes.
I'm also looking at $150 jar of mayonnaise. What just happened here? How did I get
I mean,
here?
do you want to live forever or you want your blood sugar to spike? Get the good stuff. So no
Yeah, so
mayo on the burger.
even though it's delicious. I will say
Mustard's
though,
okay. Dr.
yes,
Casey
my
says
friend,
mustard's good,
that was one of the
but
in my darkest days when I was so depressed about not being able to have mayo anymore. My friend said to me, this is so profound. So buckle in. Anything mayo can do,
I'm ready.
mustard can do better. The end.
Wow.
And that made me feel so good. And I was in such a down, depressed doldrums, and that just yanked me right out and back into
Hmm.
my happy sunshine state that I'm in now. Now I'm a big
And
mustard
it's
fan.
technically 0 calories per serving, though.
And it's good.
Yeah.
And you don't
Yeah.
miss.
Well, but you can't get the stuff that's got preservatives and probably seed oils in it too. Like you
Yeah.
gotta find the.
That's
nicely
the other,
made.
but it's a similar feeling to like I don't miss mayo if I have mustard. And I feel the same way about lettuce wrapped burgers. Like I didn't have a lettuce wrapped burger for year, for a long, long time. So I was like,
They're
oh,
a great
gross, dude. Why
solution.
wouldn't I want the bun? The bun's delicious. And then I had a lettuce
And you
wrapped
know,
burger, and it was like 85, 90% as good, taste
I think it's
wise.
120% as good now. I like
Yeah.
it better.
But I got
The
all the
buns, yeah,
satisfaction from the meat, the burger, and then what I was quote unquote losing was the bread. It was minimal, and then I didn't need to take an immediate nap. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah, and it's the difference between a lettuce wrap burger with uh with mustard
Hmm.
and then a regular burger with ketchup is profound on
Hmm.
how you will feel, how long you will live, what your body composition becomes. But the effect on your psyche changing from one to the other is nothing. To me, nothing. And I would rather have the one that makes me look and feel awesome. And the
Hmm.
fact that they're so close and it's so hard to know the
Right?
difference unless you've dug as deep as we have and cared too much.
Yeah.
Kind of a bummer.
But it's worth trying the healthy version because I remember
Yes.
I was just like, no, dude, why would I want to do that? I just want a real burger. Thinking like it's this insane, like
Big sacrifice to
impatient,
not. Yeah.
and I'm like, what I should have said, what I would have said to myself was, hey, man, I think you'll be hungry again. Why don't you just try one of the other ones? Like, yeah, maybe, oops, you had a worst case scenario, you had a bad lunch.
Yeah.
You'll have another lunch. Hopefully quite a few. You know what I mean? But that was,
Wait,
that was
I just read how many you have in a lifetime, or maybe I just calculated it. Yeah.
well, how many you're gonna have? You're gonna live till
It's
5,000,
like
right?
180,000? No. Yeah, so I guess that you were live to be 80 times 365 times 3 meals a day. Oh,
Well,
87,000.
yeah, but your
But
first
like, of
five
course, I
meals
have one
aren't
meal a day.
lunch.
That's true. But that's a lot of meals to think about. Oh, you're wasting one.
I know.
Might as well, whatever. Might as well be healthy. Okay, but okay, so we have the standard, which is just a tiny little change to the Max and Allie healthy
Hmm.
version. And then there is this other version that Dr. Casey talks about in her book,
Oh boy.
which is grass fed. And
Oh,
supposedly that leap is as big as our leap, and we're not
really?
taking it. It's huge that she's all about sustainable farming and grass fed and organic, and that this Max Alley version that we think is healthy is poisoning us.
Right.
It's
But
a rough book, but a
oh,
great book.
yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of steps for me to get there.
Have you heard of grass-fed versus grass-finished beef?
Yeah.
What is that?
Grass finish just means, I don't know, they're 80 and the last meal they get is grass and they murder them. Grass fed is that they ate grass their whole life.
Isn't that so ridiculous that they're like, all right, you're not allowed to call it grass fed unless you feed them mostly grass. And then everyone's like, okay, cool. All right, how do we go about doing that in an efficient way? Like, how do we get around that?
Yeah, how do we
Oh,
lie to the consumer?
we'll just call it
Grass finished.
finished.
This
Sounds
even
pretty
sounds better.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll call it
Wow.
grass fed.
Real.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. That's the world we're in. It's exhausting.
But see, the difference between standard party burger and our lettuce wrap burger, you can pull that off at a party.
Yeah.
The what Dr. Casey is suggesting in her book feels like I cannot function socially and stick with what is best for my body.
Right.
At least with our hack, you can function socially and people don't even notice, or they kind of make fun of you and then you have something to talk about.
Right. And then it's over. Whereas you don't have to leave the party. You don't have to
Yeah.
you don't have to not go.
Not eat, not go, not eat, not expose yourself to the temptation of a non-grass-fed burger or show up with your own burger. Oh my.
Here she comes. She's one of those. Yeah,
I mean, I guess you got to bring them for everyone, but that's expensive.
I know. And they don't want that.
Yeah. Yeah, but suppose I mean you think about it, the burger is eating the things that are bad, and then we eat the burger. We basically ate all the crappy refined grains with hormones in it. It's
Well, it's not quite that though, because they'll turn it into their own
yeah, but what they are
meat.
made of is that garbage. It makes
Can they
sense.
process that garbage in an efficient way? I don't know. Yeah, I
The
guess you're probably
hormones
right.
in an efficient way.
No, I think you're probably right.
According to this book, no.
It's depressing.
I know, and in it, she's like, it's so easy. I don't like if
It's
eating
so
whole food makes you feel great, why aren't people doing it? And I'm like, well, because it's hard,
yeah.
because there you get rewarded emotionally and physically for eating an Oreo,
And there's
because
also a lot
all
of
of
things that
these
make you feel great
reasons.
that happen to not be great for you. Should we
Yeah,
all start just cigarettes and meth and like what do we, like
yeah.
holy moly.
But she asserts that it's because of subsidies that the government's paying for them to grow corn and that it's this other thing that's controlling our psyche. And I'm like, it could just be that this tastes good that is controlling my psyche as well. But
Yeah.
she's also convinced herself that that whole food diet, she would rather eat chia seeds than Gushers. I bring up Gushers because you brought this up once, and I still think it's the funniest thing. Ben Greenfield's kids discovering a Gusher if they ever go to real
Oh
school.
God.
Like, Dad, what's this? He's like, shut up and eat your sardines,
He's
kid.
like, God, no. Get back in the bomb shelter. I'm homeschooling you until you're 37. We had a close call and
He almost put a Gusher to his lips.
we had a close call back in 2023. So he smelled a gusher down. He was downwind from a gusher.
But Casey did convince me to stop eating pasta. I used to have on
Just
a heavy
generally.
leg day, 2 servings afterward. Because,
Yeah.
I can get away with it and I'm bulking and carbs are good fuel after your workout. And
Yeah.
she's absolutely anti any refined grains, no matter what context. So now I eat a whole can of chickpeas instead.
Chickpeas are good, but they're not
Chickpeas are
pasta.
great and I love them. And I guess like maybe my brain chemistry will change and then there'll be a point where I would rather have the chickpeas. I mean, we're getting there. I don't feel deprived, but kind of feel deprived.
Depraved.
There was a time when I was bulking when I was having the chickpeas and the pasta. I know.
Whoa. That's depravity, I suppose.
All right. So, reasonable hack, show up with your own farm raised snacks to a party.
Right.
Don't go to the party.
Zoom call into the barbecue.
Yeah, go to the local garden
I can't wait
market
till they give us
instead.
smell sensation on Zoom. That's going to be really fun.
No, I haven't showered. You don't want that.
Well, you can tailor it.
I thought
Man,
about this for my YouTube videos where I could make smell cards and mail them out before the video goes live, and then you would have them and scratch and sniff on the day that it launches.
smart. Smart.
Like
And then
scratch
just
your
link that
scratch
memory,
number two.
tie it in hard.
Yeah. Oh, right, because that's the strongest sense tied to memory.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Get people to smell you, and then they really are diehard fans.
Smell you later.
Wait, are you kidding about Zoom smells?
Yeah, kind of, because I was talking about
Okay.
Zoom barbecue, and I was like, well,
No, right.
the only real good part of the barbecue is the you smell the food, and you're like, oh yeah, that'd be great. But I
Yeah.
don't think a Zoom smell is the next logical thing. I think the next logical thing is Zoom feel, porn, obviously.
Mm. Yeah, of course. Okay.
Oh,
So
so the hack is
vegetables, don't eat the chips. Don't even eat the veggie chips. Those are horrible for you. I know. He loved chips. Chips are your favorite thing. He froze. What did I do? What did I
he
do?
froze. He died.
I know that's your whole brand.
Well, it was a
All
sub.
right, it's a holiday. That's another
It
thing.
was a subset.
Don't do it
Yeah,
all the time.
that's the big thing. If you,
No, it's not though. Okay,
is I
Dr. Casey
know.
put up this reel where she was like, I think the worst thing that we've been fed is all good things in moderation. And she's like, no. Don't ever do seed oils. Don't ever do sugar.
Don't ever do
it will
crack.
retrain your brain to want it again. You can't have that pasta because then you'll never want the chickpeas. So no moderation. You show up with your grass-fed beef. It's rough.
She's kind of right. I hate it, but she's making a lot of good. She's making a lot of sense, a lot of good points. Because
It's
I
yeah,
think we think, oh, I can handle moderation, but it's like, well, I can't though. I can't have one cigarette every 5 days and think that's good, and you know, and
right,
then suddenly oh, I'll just have another one. Oh, then it's a pack a day, and then I'm dead. Like I bet
right.
that's how she's approaching it. That sort of mindset, that sort of mental approach or
Yeah,
whatever.
and she wants to be rewarded by her chia seed pudding, not by
Yeah,
gushers. And as soon as you only have chia seed pudding, that's the thing that triggers your brain for the reward.
happiness.
So no, it's just a really tough sell. I would rather learn Dvorak.
Yeah. Well, you got time. You got 87,000 lunches left.
Yeah, right. Well, and then I'm doing it one step at a time. So the first thing was getting rid of that pasta, and then the next thing is to look at all of my food being sustainably farmed, and then what are the next step? There are a lot of them, but I'm babies, baby steps.
Is her book on Audible?
Yeah, and it's her reading it.
Is it her? Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, you should definitely get it. It's
I'll get
great.
it. I'll throw it on the list. That'll be that one and Why We Sleep are like the depressing, this is really great for my life type books. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I'm at the end. In the beginning, it's like, oh, this is totally attainable, and she has a lot of great answers, and I'm definitely in. So I'm giving a negative review now because I'm implementing it in my life, but for sure,
You're like,
I
actually, it's
will be
kind of
buying
hard.
it from my mom. Everyone should go read it. We should
Yeah,
have Dr. Casey back on to talk about it because I have so many more questions for her.
definitely. She's great.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
get a burger, get a lettuce wrap, grass-fed burger, mustard. Sugar-free ketchup exists. It just kind of sucks.
Mustard.
Nah, stay away from the potato salad, I guess.
Yeah.
If it's heavily mayonnaised and especially if it's
Oh, but
raisins.
sauerkraut, if it's done in vinegar, like
Sauerkraut is
coleslaw in
perfect,
vinegar, yeah.
spectacular for you. The only problem is it tastes like a shoe, so it's pretty disgusting. So it's kind of
The
hard.
German Jew.
It's hard to write a crog, a crock or a clog. Excuse me.
Clog. Tastes like a
Uh,
clog. It is
hot
possible
dog,
if
I
you're not
guess.
going full sustainably farmed insane to do
Just
better
get
than
some
a
chicken
burger.
wings.
Yeah.
Throw some chicken wings on the grill.
No, those
That's
are
a great
fried though.
on
You
the
mean like
grill.
not a deep grilled wings, yeah.
Grilled wings are
Or chicken
spectacular.
breast. There you go.
You don't do chicken breast at a barbecue, do you?
No, I'm vegan. I don't know if you've heard it. Did you know I'm vegan? Actually, I'm pescatarian, so I brought my own lobster tails for the grill.
Does that mean you worship the Pope or which one's that? Episcop
No,
Pescatarian
a pescatarian.
Episcopalitarian?
Ah, yeah,
A
I would say avoid
peculiar
the carbs.
I'm a
Oh, it worked out
peculiar
before. A
I'm a
pecul
peculitarian.
that means I do 3 push days a week.
Bilateral. But I'm bilateral, so we celebrate
Yeah.
both.
A bilateral, a peculitarian. Uh, yeah, or just ignore it all for a holiday, but
Yeah.
make it not so often.
Also,
Yeah.
eat incredibly healthy and then just chase it with 37 Bud Lights.
Pick your battles.
Pick your battles. That's what the founding fathers did.
All right. Let us know in the comments if you are going to try and be somewhat healthy or if you're going to say, screw it, it's a holiday.
The
I'm
high
out.
holiday.
Yeah, let's do whatever we want. Just 7 beer miles.
Oof.
It's whatever. And if you can rate and review on Apple Podcasts, that helps us out a whole lot. Welcome to all the people that I told from Fitness Outrageous that we have a new channel. So glad to have you. And we'll see you next week.